Morning, Tom. How are you today?
I'm good, Graham. Morning.
Excellent. So here we are at the Pentagon head offices in Richmond, and thanks for joining me and sparing some time today. I know you're a busy chap. You're at events non-stop, and thank you for joining us to go through a bit of an interview with Pricesearcher.
You're welcome. Welcome.
So, I know a lot about you, but the listeners don't necessarily do. So, could you please give us a bit of an introduction about yourself, where you come from, your background, and then why you joined Pricesearcher?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Thomas Vosper. I've been in e-commerce for the last 10 years. A lot of that was spent at Amazon, where I spent just over 6 years in their marketplace team, and the various products that they were offering, which you'll be very familiar with today. I then spent a couple of years building a marketplace on Tesco Direct. And most of my time during that has been engaging directly with brands and with retailers, helping them reach new customers, get onto new channels.
Okay. And how long has Pricesearcher been running for now?
Well, so Pricesearcher originally was bootstrapped by our founder over the last 5 years, but we've only really come to prominence when we raised our first part of funding. It's around about 18 months ago, so that was towards the end of 2017.
Okay.
So I joined the business at that point. And my role has been to go out and speak to retailers and evangelise about what we are doing at Pricesearcher.
Okay, and what
are we doing at Pricesearcher is the next question.
Exactly.
So we see, and from my background in e-commerce, I understand that retailers are always looking to try and find ways to put their products in front of the right type of customer and the right volume of customer as well. And they have a couple of challenges when they're doing that. One is from a technical aspect. And matching your products, matching your catalogue to get onto a different channel. The other one is a cost of acquisition, so a cost of ad spend, a cost of marketplace revenue share or commission, and the like. And so Pricesearcher exists to show you as a shopper, as a consumer, all of your available buying options. And because of those challenges that retailers have on other platforms, we remove those so that they can bring all of their products onto our site.
So in terms of retailers and how they can plug into your your software, obviously if consumers are then searching on the site, if they're not plugged in, they're going to be missing out in terms of what's going to be surfaced. So how do you go about acquiring them, and how do you go about making sure that they can surface there?
Sure. Well, here's the good news for retailers and for brands. So everything that we're geared towards at Pricesearcher is showing the shopper all of their available buying options, and we have processes in place to try our best to make that happen.
Okay.
So one of those is by working with partners like Pentagon and being able to accept any feed format from a retailer. So if they choose to provide their product details to us in an optimized way, we're able to index that, show that in our search results, and then send traffic out for free, so completely frictionless for the retailer.
Okay.
But also as well, we index marketplaces, so Amazon, eBay, Not on the High Street and Etsy all provide their details to us. So we also pick up their seller base as well and are able to surface their products to the consumer. And then thirdly, just like Google, PriceSpot is a very transparent crawler which is going and pulling publicly available information across the internet, the price information, and indexing that into Pricesearcher. So our ambition is to show the consumer everything. There are a number of different ways. Clearly we are more than open to working with partners like Pentagon and retailers to optimize that and show all of their products in the right way.
And how are consumers engaging with Pricesearcher as a brand and as a site? Have you had much feedback in terms of, wow guys, this is great, or what if you could do this feature? What's the kind of feedback been like from the consumers themselves?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things, and sometimes we probably forget how early we are in our journey, given the sort of scale that we've reached within 18 months. We're around about 1 million searches a month taking place on the site. We have tens of thousands of retailers. We're live in 12 countries in 4 continents.
Wow.
And we see some of the largest names in e-commerce submitting feeds to us every single day. But we're still very much in a process where we are developing our consumer-facing site and what that looks like when we kind of come out to the world and say, en masse, come and have a look at our site. Obviously, depending on when you're watching this particular interview, we may already be live on site, in which case I hope that many of the people who are watching are either appearing on our site and also customers who are shopping and finding offers and retailers on our site.
Perfect, okay. And in terms of a retailer now wanting to add themselves to Pricesearcher, can you kind of talk me through the process of what it is? Obviously, if you're talking to tens of thousands of people, it's not your email address we're going to put on at the end of this interview. How would a retailer go and connect?
Well, it's dead straightforward. In many cases, our price bot is calling and pulling in that public available information anyway.
Okay.
And of course, if a retailer has a product feed, then they can talk to Pentagon, or if they use another digital marketing agency or feed provider, the odds are we already work with those guys as well. Or they're simply able to just go onto pricesearcher.com/upload and submit a product feed to us. We'll process them, and their details will be live within 24 hours to start receiving traffic.
Fantastic.
And I think it's kind of key to just again reiterate the point that not only do we solve that technical issue in making it very simple in just a couple of minutes to come onto our site, the other barrier that we remove is cost. It's all completely free, so it's free to appear on our site, it's free for the traffic that we send out, it's very, very straightforward.
And I know you can't go into specifics with retailers, but have retailers seen increases in their sales? Have they seen increases in terms of their visits from your site? Has it been a positive engagement piece?
Yeah, so the core existence for us is to show the consumer the product and then send them out to the retailer. And because we're so frictionless with how we work to retailers, we generally don't kind of dive into a lot of the analytics with them, but anecdotally we hear that we do convert at pretty high rates.
Okay.
And of course it's completely organic traffic, it's completely free.
Perfect. So in the past 18 months, you've grown significantly. What does the next kind of 6 to 12 months look like for Pricesearcher?
Yeah, so the key for us is the UK launch next. 1 million searches a month is a good start. And certainly being in a position to show 1.2 billion products as it stands today on the site is a good range for the shopper. But for us, the next kind of phase will really be to make Pricesearcher a household name. Excellent,
fantastic. Is there any specific categories or verticals that you're wanting to go after, or is you're talking about surfacing 1 billion products? I think you've probably got quite a few categories covered there.
Well, again, depending on when you're watching this, it will hopefully be significantly more than the 1.2 billion that we show right now. No, we see all sorts of shapes and sizes. Because we're completely removing the development resource and technical friction that retailers and brands see, and we're also removing the cost. We have some of the hugest retailers in the world on our site, and we have small mom and pop shops or niche sellers. There's a huge range. That's why we exist, so that a shopper can come to our site and see all of those options.
Excellent. That's great. Well, thank you again for your time today. Really appreciate all of your feedback and your input, and hopefully everyone found that an interesting session.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Cheers.